Top 5 Child Support Court Drama.
All right, Mr. Morris, you brought this case before the court. What's going on?
Well, I come to you today, Your Honor, because I'm trying to get my child support reduction.
Okay. All right. Based on what? Like, what's going on?
Well, I currently pay $880 a month for child support.
Okay.
I also pay $362 for health insurance. And I see my kids every maybe like 4 times a week.
Okay.
I see them pretty often, and she's trying to take my kids and move off to Florida.
Okay.
And Your Honor, I'm not going for that.
All right. Did she tell you why she was trying to move to Florida?
Because she just want to live her best life.
She said that?
That's what it is. She want to go to the beach, drink coconut balls or whatever they have out there in Florida, and just have her best life.
Okay, wait a minute. So did she actually tell you that, or you interpreting her as living her best life?
Your Honor, why would anybody else want to move to Florida? That's Paradise City.
Well, I mean, I kind of want to move too, but I can't go.
You know what I'm saying?
Because I got to work. So could it be for a job?
You know, Your Honor, I haven't asked, because when she told me that she wanted to move to Florida, I got so upset about the fact of losing my kids that I was like, are you moving to Florida for like vacation time, or just so you can live your best life, or because we in Texas? I'm in Texas. I'm a good dad.
So what did she say to that when you said, are you trying to move to Florida to live your best life?
She said, you shouldn't have messed up.
What did you do?
It's a long story, Your Honor. I could tell you how we split up, but I kind of messed up.
Well, I have time. Do me a favor. Do me a favor. I didn't even realize you had gum in your mouth till you start smiling. You know, I don't allow gum chewing in here.
I'm sorry, Your Honor.
Oh, it's okay. You can just put it to your back of your throat. I'm not gonna tell you to swallow it. I don't think that's really healthy.
Yes, ma'am.
But I have time for the story when you're ready. After you.
It's to the back right now, Your Honor. No more chewing for me.
Okay.
So
continue.
Long story short, I met this lady our freshman year of college.
Okay.
And we were in class, and she was sitting in the front, I was sitting in the back. And I saw her, and I said, man, I'm gonna have to put my bid in as soon as class is over.
Bid, that's what they call it these days. Okay.
We call it put your bid in. Because
All right.
I'm sure there's other people that put their bid in too. So if I got the highest bid, of course I'm a getter, you know.
Oh, so you subcontracting these things now?
I was, yeah. At that time I was subcontracting, you know what I'm saying?
Interesting.
Right.
Keep going.
So I saw her in the hall, and I came to her, and my bid won. And we was together for years, Your Honor. We were together for years. We have 2 kids. We have a 5-year-old and a 10-year-old.
Okay.
Throughout the time, and as life just went on, we just started kind of fading, Your Honor. I'm a coach. I'm a football coach at a college.
Okay.
And one of the cheerleading coaches kept hitting on me, and I kept rejecting her.
So you put a bid on her too?
She put the bid on me, Your Honor. Oh. Yeah, she put the bid on me. So I gave in to that bid. She had a high bid. And at the time, my lady, she wasn't putting no more bids on me. She wasn't cooking me dinner. She wasn't massaging me like she used to. She wouldn't even let me watch sports on Sundays, Your Honor, because she wanted to watch The Bachelor. So it just wasn't working. And I gave in to what was going on, and I messed up. She saw my phone. She saw that I was with her a few times, and she left me, Your Honor.
Okay.
She left me.
That was a very colorful story. It's very interesting. I hear the word bid. I think about someone, you know, trying to do construction on my home. So it's just interesting hearing you use that term referring to relationships. Okay, so you don't want her to move to Florida.
No, ma'am.
All right. And you want your child support reduced as a result if she does move? Or do you just want it reduced just because?
I just want it reduced just because.
Okay, got it.
I feel like I know dudes that don't see their kids ever, and they not on child support. I see my kids multiple times through the week, and I'm paying $880 a month.
Okay. Fair enough. I believe I have majority of what I needed. Okay, is there anything else you wanted me to know before I move over to her?
No, that's about it, Your Honor. That's about it.
All right. All right. Ma'am, and give me your last name.
It's Adams with 2 D's.
Adams with 2 D's, okay. All right, Mrs. Adams, or Miss Adams.
Thank you.
Okay, Miss Adams. So tell me about, so this story that he told, he actually you won the bid, or he won the bid.
Well, I think that tells you everything you need to know about his view of relationships is very transactional.
Oh yeah, that's the word I was looking for. That's it, transactional.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's very much I do this and you do that, and I think the fact that he didn't even bother to mention our children's names should tell you everything about our relationship.
Well, he told me the ages.
Yeah, well, that's great. Robert and Madison, that's with a Y.
But she ain't asked for the kid.
Okay, yeah, I get it. Anyway, so going back to, evidently I'm just going to Florida for a permanent vacation. I'm actually going for a job.
All right.
So what's that job?
Robert, and I'm going to be a marine biologist.
That's a good job.
When this dream come apart? Because you ain't had this dream when we met.
See, exactly. Do you ever listen?
Miss Adams,
sorry.
I need you to talk directly to me, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
And Mr. Morris, I've given you an opportunity to speak. Let me hear what she has to say.
You're right,
and
Judge, I'm
people
sorry.
can change dreams. I mean, depending on how long you guys have been apart, a lot could have changed in her life.
It's just she taking my kids, Judge.
Okay, well, let's hear what she has to say.
You're right. You're right.
She said marine biologist, right?
Yes.
That sounds like a really good job, and I want to hear about it. See how much money she makes.
She
all
just
right?
having random dreams, Judge, but it's all
Okay,
good.
that's great, but I need to see how much money she's making.
Right.
Okay?
I'm sorry.
All
y'all.
right.
Yeah, less talking, more listening.
And you do the same thing. All right, now, continue.
Jesus.
So I'm taking the kids to Florida because I have a greater job opportunity.
Okay.
And, it's so interesting to me that he says that he sees the kids 4 times a week. I guess he's talking about maybe a FaceTime call or seeing them on his phone screen, because I certainly don't see him picking up the kids and taking them to the doctor and cleaning up vomit in the middle of the night. So it's great that he thinks that he's paying for the right to see his kids, and that there are people who don't pay child support and who see their kids a whole lot, Judge. That tells you everything you need to know about the transactional nature of relationships to Mr. Morris. So, look, the fact of the matter is, I guess he doesn't realize that his children are going to need to eat, whether they live in Texas or they live in Florida. And
That's
they're
true.
And they're going to need new tennis shoes and new clothes, and I guess he just thinks that money goes on trees, or that kids just eat for free. It's not how it works. This isn't TGI Fridays. So the cost of living is going to be higher in Florida.
All right, what are we looking at?
So my rent is going up from $2,000 a month to $2,800 a month.
Okay.
Because I have to have a 3-bedroom, because Robert and Madison need their own bedrooms. And of course, I have to pay for flood insurance and other things like that.
Okay. All right. And you mentioned food.
Yeah, so the kids eat organic.
Okay.
And they're vegan. And so my grocery bill for them is already close to $800 a month.
Okay.
So his opinion that $880 is too much for the kids is wrong. It is a wrong opinion, because your children deserve the nutrition they need to grow up big and healthy and strong, so they can be college athletes like you want them to.
Okay, so Miss Adams, you said that your rent is going up $800.
Yeah.
You have to pay flood insurance. The children's diet, they eat organic food and they're vegan. Okay, so are you using the child support for flood insurance and rent too, or are you using it to feed the kids? I just want to make sure I'm clear on what it is that you're saying in regards to his request to get a reduction.
Yes, Your Honor. So the thing is that if I was living in a 1-bedroom because I was by myself, my rent would be a lot lower.
All right.
But I have to get a 3-bedroom because I have a boy and a girl, and I don't want them sleeping in the same bedroom.
Yeah, I can see that.
So I have to get a 3-bedroom, and so it's not just that, it's my electric bill, it's cell phones, because our 5-year-old has a cell phone, so now I have to make sure that we've got her a phone line so you can talk to her dad so he can see her 4 times a week on FaceTime.
So about that, he said that he sees the children now 4 times a week, and you're saying that's not true, except for like a FaceTime video or something like that.
He sees the kids on an inconsistent basis.
That's a lie, Your Honor.
Okay. So when you say inconsistent, right now, do you all operate under a standard order where it's like first, third, and fifth?
He has every weekend, and I have during the week.
Okay, so every weekend he has.
Right.
Okay. During that every weekend, it's inconsistent, is what you're saying?
I mean, it's just all over the place. He just comes and goes and sees the kids whenever is convenient to him, or maybe his girlfriend like turns him down for a date or whatever.
Okay, so that was petty.
What girlfriend you talking about?
We didn't have to go there. We didn't have to go there. So is that what the issue is? Like, you're still mad at him about that story that he told?
Well, okay, so he put in a bid for an upgrade, or the upgrade put in a bid for him, or whatever, and now I have to explain to our son why our family fell apart.
Oh, so it's some hurt feelings there. Okay, I understand. So, have you already moved to Florida, or is this something that you're intending on doing pretty soon?
Well, I took the job offer and I've already found an apartment.
So the answer is yes. You pretty much already...
Everything but the U-Haul, Your Honor.
Okay. So in your court order, do you have a geographic restriction because Dad lives here?
Yes, but he moved just outside of Ellis County, so he's just outside of the geographic restriction, so it's technically lifted, Your Honor.
Okay. And technically is what you said, but is that what your court order says?
Well, the court order says Dallas and contiguous counties, and he moved like a mile on the other side of the Ellis County line.
Okay, and I do have a copy of your court order here, and it doesn't mention that it's automatically lifted.
Oh, okay. Well, I was just thinking it was the one that...
O is right.
Thank you, Your Honor.
O
Thank
is
you.
right.
I'm sorry.
O is right, because you can't just leave. You can't just do that. You actually have to ask permission to modify this order like he did.
Well, can I modify the order to move to Florida?
Did you file anything for today?
I mean,
It's a yes or no.
No.
Okay. So you're moving without asking the court, can you move? And Dad is still living here.
Well, I guess I just didn't understand the way the order was written, because I had heard that if he moved outside of where it said, then I could move out.
Who did you hear that from? Did you Google? You did one of those Google searches? One of the Google lawyers told you that?
Yeah, I guess.
Oh, okay. Because they told you wrong, and that's the problem with Googling everything. You should have actually consulted with an attorney who would have interpreted this order properly to you. You can't just move. So let me tell you what we're going to do, because I think this is the fair thing to do. Regardless to whether you say his visits are inconsistent, he say they're consistent, the reality of it is when you move to Florida, he can no longer have access to those kids. So even if he were coming this day, and did every weekend, he won't be able to do that anymore now that you are going to move to Florida. So what I'm not going to touch is your custody arrangement. Not going to touch that at all. This is a child support court. That has nothing to do with us, okay? So I'm not going to touch it at all. You are free to move to Florida. However, he's coming off child support. So then he can use the money, the $880 or so that he would give you for child support. He can use that to travel to actually see the kids.
But what if he doesn't, Your Honor?
Well, if he doesn't, then after some time of him not doing it consistently, and when I say consistently and consecutively, it needs to at least be about 6 months or something like that, right? Then you can come back and let me know, Judge, he's not exercising regularly. I need some support for these 2 kids, right? But absent anything like that, I believe that's in the best interest of the children. And quite frankly, that's fair. You're moving without permission, right?
Yeah.
Which is a violation of your court order. So it's only fair that he stops paying child support. So beyond a reduction, he's coming off child support today. Now you will have to keep maintaining the health insurance, okay?
That's fine, Your Honor.
All right, so that, what is it, 362?
Yes, ma'am.
You'll still continue to pay the health insurance, but there will be no child support paid from him to you. Hopefully you guys can come to an agreement.
That's the plan, Your Honor. Once we leave, I plan on giving her a call so we could try to talk about things and kind of get on a good level with each other.
Yeah, I think that can work. And who knows, your job may transfer up here and you may end up being back in Dallas anyway. Now, if that happens, you all would need to come back because then we need to look at something different about what child support is going to be. But until then, you know, enjoy Florida. All right, is there anything further?
No?
Thank you, Your Honor, for everything. You really made a big change in my life, and I'm glad we came to your court today.
All right, well, you're very welcome. And if there's nothing further, you all are dismissed.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You all may be seated. Okay. Miss Miller, is it Miss or Mrs.?
Mrs.
Mrs. Miller, you brought this case before the court. What is going on?
This is my
Future
son's
daughter-in-law.
baby mama.
Future
Okay.
daughter-in-law.
And Tracy. So Tracy leaves the kids with me and didn't come back to check on the kids, haven't done anything, just dropped them off and took off and expects me to take care of the children with no money. She doesn't drop food off, she didn't leave any clothes, she didn't do anything. Tracy says she works all the time. That's what she tells me.
Okay.
That's where she is. So she hasn't done anything with the kids.
Okay.
And they're small kids. They're 3 and 4. I'm trying to deal with a 3 and 4-year-old while she runs around and does whatever Tracy decides she wants to do.
Okay. Is her name Tracy?
Yes, Tracy. Tracy, I guess is what it is.
It's Tracy, Judge.
Okay.
It's not that hard. It's just Tracy.
Oh, okay.
So special. She's very special.
According to your son, I am.
Ooh.
Okay. Tracy.
He just
what-
has bad
what's
taste
your last
in women.
name?
My name is Tracy Smith, Judge.
Smith. Okay.
Yes, and I'm prepared. I watch your court hearings on Zoom and the other
Kiss it
courts.
up. Are you really
So I'm-
kiss it up?
Excuse me. There is nothing wrong with watching hearings on Zoom. That's not kissing up.
It just sounds like a kiss up to me.
No. Well,
that would be Tracy.
What-
That would be her.
Okay, Mrs. Miller, we're going to be nice and
Yes,
respectful.
I apologize,
It's not
Your Honor.
kissing up if she is watching court on Zoom. That's why we live
Yeah,
stream, so
yeah.
you can watch it. And a lot of people watch it to get prepared. I see you have your notes there.
Yes,
I see
yes,
that she
yes.
has notes there. That's okay.
Yeah, it is okay, but I would watch it if I wasn't watching kids and kid shows. But that's because I got kids. But
Your Honor, I don't
understand.
know why
I
she's so
understand.
mean to me.
Oh,
Like,
here
I
go the
don't
tears.
understand.
Here go the tears.
Okay,
Here go
hold
the
on,
tears.
hold on. Miss Smith, I'll get over to you in just a moment. Okay, now, Mrs. Miller,
Yes.
you said she dropped the kids off and go do, how do you know the things that she do?
She claims she's working, but she claims she has no money. I'm trying to figure out how that works. How do you work but have no money for your children? I mean, I'm confused because I don't understand that.
How long have the children been with you?
6 months.
6 months, and who dropped them off to you?
She did.
Okay.
Tracy did.
I'm assuming the two of you don't get along.
She's not my favorite person. No.
Oh, okay.
No, she's really not. She's really not.
I mean, well, why is that?
I just
curious.
because she lies. She's not taking care of her children. She tricked my son into having children with her.
I did not
just
trick
don't
your son
understand.
into my bed. I
I
didn't
don't
trick your son into my bed. He got there
She
voluntarily.
kind of got a
That's
point
what
there.
you offered.
And very happily, might
That's
I
what
add.
you offered. So he got in the bed.
Okay, so how do you know their relationship?
My son tells me things.
Right. You
then-
only get it, hear me out, you're only getting information from your son. And I'm not saying that your son is not being truthful, but that's just one side of it. It's always another
I mean,
side.
I see stuff.
And it seems like you're very passionate about your grandchildren.
Yes, I am.
So you should at least pretend to get along with their mother. I mean, she did drop the kids off to you, so she must trust you, right?
I don't say anything bad about her.
Wait a minute. She did trust you enough to drop the children off to you, right?
Or she had no one else. But
Okay, but even still, with having no one else, she could have put the kids with somebody that she really didn't know.
But my grandchildren, she was.
That's my point. She trusted you enough to bring them to you.
Good point. Point
Okay.
taken. Point
Now,
taken.
isn't it fair to
It's probably my
say
son's idea.
part of your son's idea to do what?
Drop the children off to me. She probably didn't think about it.
Okay, is that a bad thing?
No, it's a good thing. I'm just saying she probably didn't contribute to that. It was probably his decision. Yeah.
Okay, I'm not
She
following
probably
what's
would have
the
just
issue.
left them with anybody.
Your Honor, I'm
He
going to
probably-
object. I object, Your
What
Honor.
you objected for? You ain't no
Okay,
attorney. How you objected?
Wait, she has the right to object. Both of you can object.
Oh,
you
I didn't know
represent
that.
yourself.
Okay, that's good to know. Okay,
Yeah.
now I'm listening.
Now, what
so
is
I
your
can
objection?
object.
That's not true.
Okay, what is your legal objection?
That it's not true.
All right, so that's not a legal objection.
Not an attorney.
So it doesn't matter. She watches court on Zoom, so she is learning how to represent herself.
Right.
Let's not knock anyone for
That's
trying
true.
to represent themselves.
That's true.
not a legal objection, unfortunately. So I'm going to allow her to keep speaking, okay?
Okay.
Okay, now, Mrs. Miller, is there anything else you want me to know? Well, before I go there, let me ask you a question. Did you all communicate at all about why the children were being dropped off to you?
My son is in the military.
Okay,
So Tracy, should be taking care of the children.
okay.
But she got this new career that she has to worry about. So
That's a good thing, right?
If it'll keep you away from your children, no.
Okay.
No.
And you said 6 months they've been with you.
6 months.
Was there a discussion about it being a temporary thing, or was it just permanent?
Temporary.
You told me it was going to be temporary.
I told your son it was going to be temporary.
You didn't tell me it was going to be temporary when you dropped them off.
Okay, so I see kind of what's going on here. Sounds like a lot of miscommunication. You're communicating with your son directly about the things that she and your son discussed, but your son is not really relaying it to you as though he spoke to her about it. That's what it sounds like.
That's what it sounds like, but my son wouldn't lie. He wouldn't make up things.
He wouldn't lie, but you would.
Okay, wait a minute. So you said your son wouldn't lie. Did he tell
Did
you?
she just call me a liar, though? Did you just call me a liar, girl?
I don't think she said that. I didn't hear that word.
It better not have been that word.
Yeah, I
You
don't
have
think
an
she said that
amazing
word.
gift for rewriting
Okay,
reality.
Miss Smith, we will get to you shortly.
Yes, Your Honor, I'm sorry.
Don't be sorry, just don't do it. Okay?
I should know that by now. I watch your court all the time. I won't do it again.
Just
Okay,
gotta watch
thank
them
you.
YouTubes a little closer next time.
Okay, that was not
I'm
nice.
sorry. You said be nice.
Miss Miller.
I apologize.
You do not have to act like that, okay?
I don't. I
Now,
apologize.
when we first started talking, you said she was your son's baby mama, and I believe she said they were engaged or fiance or something.
Nah, they ain't.
So couldn't it be that your son doesn't tell you everything?
She got a ring on.
I mean, I
didn't
thought I
have-
heard her say that.
So you got money to buy a ring.
No,
but
your
you ain't got
son-
money for them kids.
Your son bought
But you
me
took
a
the ring. You should have said, no, give my mama the money give your mother the money for the babies.
Is it my turn?
Okay.
No, but you
is-
put the ring on so you can
Mrs. Miller.
flash it.
Mrs. Miller.
Flash
Mrs.
it again.
Miller.
Flash it again, girl.
Mrs. Miller, it's a beautiful ring. Now, is there anything
Sure
else
is.
you
Look
want
like
me
it
to
costs a
know?
little money too, don't it?
And it sounds like that's a conversation you need to have with your son on another day. Is there anything else
There's
you
no
want me
proof
to
that
know?
he paid for that, though.
Is there
There's no
anything
proof.
else you want me
No,
to know?
Your Honor, that's it.
Okay, so I can move over to
Yes,
Miss
Your
Smith
Honor.
then.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Now, Miss Smith, it is your turn. What do you want me to know?
Your Honor, she absolutely has not had my kids consistently for 6 months.
Lie.
Okay, how long have Miss Miller?
Oh, I'm sorry. I was
Ms.
just making
Miller?
notes on what she was saying. I apologize.
Yes, you can quietly
I
make notes.
apologize.
Quietly.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
So her son and I are very much so in love, and he just recently joined the military.
I'm sorry. I should have had some water before I sit down. I apologize. I apologize.
He recently joined the military and he's deployed right now. He's probably going to flip out when he finds out what his mom has done by bringing me to child support court. So,
he doesn't know that.
no, he doesn't know yet.
Oh.
Well, he doesn't know. I haven't been able to talk to him yet because he's on deployment. So unless she told him, my understanding is he doesn't know. I just got these papers handed to me like maybe 2 weeks ago, a week and a half ago.
To be here.
Yes, and I've emailed him, but I haven't got a response yet. He has limited access right now while he's overseas.
Okay, so it is indeed a fact that you dropped the children off to grandmother 6 months ago.
Yes, so the court knows I'm a influencer, and I hate saying that because I'm still growing right now. I'm in
Okay.
the growing stage. And so I do like travel blogs and things like that, which require me to travel.
Object, question, which one can I do
excuse
the
me.
question, what she said? What's an influencer? What is
So
what's this Tracy doing
your
there?
legal objection?
The legal objection is that she's lying?
That's not a legal objection. And there will be
Falsifying information. Falsifying information. What's
Okay.
an influencer? What's that she says she does?
okay.
So that's false.
All right, that's not a legal objection either. So I'm going to allow her to finish because then maybe you can hear what an influencer is.
Okay.
All right.
That works.
All right. Continue.
So I don't get paid a lot. Mostly they just kind of cop the expenses and stuff while I'm growing my channel. Before he deployed about 7 months ago. And he did not want me to give up my growing career. I'm starting to get a lot of traction on social media. And so he told me that he talked to his mom and agreed that she would take care of the kids while I have to travel. And I don't travel for like a month at a time. I'm gone maybe 5 days to 7 days and I'm back 2 or 3 and I get my kids. And then if I have to travel again, I leave them with her. You know, I don't have my mom. And so when I got in this relationship, I wanted to have a good relationship with her. And I don't know why she's so mean to me. Like I have beautiful children with her son, and I'm a good person. And so if she doesn't want to take care of them or help me anymore, I can give up being a influencer.
And get a
I'll
real
keep
job.
my kids.
And excuse me. Influencing. When you say influencing, you're talking about social media, content creator, that kind of stuff?
Yes, and my specific niche is travel videos. And you know, they're young right now. I hope when they're older, you know, my fiance and I plan to integrate the kids and do like family trips and show how to travel on a budget. Like we have a plan marked out for it, but his deployment right now, you know, he's gonna get out of the military when his term is up this time. He's not re-enlisting.
Okay.
So if she's not willing to help us, like, you know, my fiance said, I'll take them back, but she doesn't talk to me. And I send them with food and groceries when I have to travel. It's not like, you know, not
Rice
to
Krispie
mention,
treats? That ain't
not
no
to
food.
mention my fiance, when he's here, we live together. We're happily together. My fiance pays, she's on our phone plan. My fiance pays like some of the bills at the house and stuff. So while it's not maybe coming from me directly, it's from our household.
Okay. I
Because
understand.
we're getting married. When he gets permission for leave, we're going to be married. Whether she likes it or not, whether she's there or not, we're going to be married.
Okay. I see what's going on here. It sounds like a lot of miscommunication going on, not only between she and her fiance, well, not necessarily between the two of them. I believe that based on what she just said, they knew what they were doing, but your son is not communicating with you, and the two of you aren't communicating with each other.
But Your Honor, she says that he was doing the paying part of the bills. He's always paid part of my bills. That was before the children came. So
Okay.
for her to say he's paying the bills for the children, he's not paying those bills for the children. He's always taking care of his mother.
I don't think that's what she meant by that. I don't believe that's what she meant. And
Your
in
Honor,
order
you
for
just don't know Tracy. You just don't. You just
well, it
don't.
sounds like you don't know a whole lot about
You just don't.
their relationship. You didn't even know that this is about to be your daughter-in-law.
Hi, Mom.
Girl, don't say that to me no more. Now, I had a nice girl picked out for him to live down the street. Keisha was sweet. He went to school with her. He
Keisha's
could have had a
missing a
nice girl and stuff. And then he went and got this girl right here because she did things with him that little Keisha wasn't gonna do. But that's neither here nor there. I don't want to slander her.
It's-
But I do
it's
want to say
very
that
irrelevant.
Miss Influencer should be able to pay for her children that live with me. She brings like Rice Krispie treats and cookies and
what
that
my
ain't no
kids like.
food. They need noodles. I don't know how to cook noodles.
I have one question. When she dropped these children off to you, did she say that she was never coming back to pick them up? Or did she say that this was a temporary situation?
She said I am pursuing a career that requires me to travel a little.
Okay.
So I need you to watch the children while I do that. Well, of course, they're my son's children. Of course,
Right.
I'm going to watch the children. But no, she did not say that it was going to be this long and she was going to be gone.
Did your son tell you it was temporary?
Well, I don't like to bother him, with some of this stuff.
That wasn't my question. Did your son tell you that this was a temporary situation while they were, trying to sort things out with military and
Yeah,
a
he
job?
said why she started her little career.
Okay, so
That you need to watch, I was going to have the kids.
so you agreed, and I believe there is.
But 6 months?
Do y'all have anything you want me to look at? Because I see that you have documents over here. I see that you have. Looks like you just
No, I
have
just
notes.
have my notes, Your Honor.
I have the email that my husband, my almost husband, sent to his mom.
Could you stop saying that? And you have his
should
email
get
address,
used to
don't you?
it.
Don't you check his email? So you probably sent that email.
But how do you know?
Thank you.
Because that's the kind of person she is.
Come on,
And
Mrs.
so
Miller.
The email
Thank
states
you.
like if she could watch them while I travel, and you haven't heard her deny. I get them when I come back. It's never for longer than 5, maybe 7 days at a time. And if she wants to
How much money
Ma'am,
have you
please
given
let
toward this? See how she talks? See, there's the real
Wait,
her.
wait,
There's the real
wait.
her coming out right now.
No,
Go ahead.
no,
Don't
no,
stop
no.
that crying. Just
No,
keep
no.
going like
Hold
that.
Hold on. 1 second. 1 second. You keep interrupting her. You keep interrupting
That's
her.
'cause she be lying.
She did it to you too. So I can't just say that you're 100% at fault. You both are doing it. I don't see how y'all are going to be able to work together with these children if you can't even get a word in. Now, in this email,
See, she interrupted
it is very clear what the intentions were. It is very clear that this was a temporary situation and you agree to help them.
She wrote that email. I agreed. I agreed to keep my grandchildren because I didn't want anybody else to
That's
have
what
them.
the email says.
I agreed. I did agree.
Okay,
agree.
so
I'll take that.
Mrs. Miller, I don't like to tell people what their intentions are, but it does not seem like you did anything here today other than to come and waste my time. Because you should not have filed a child support situation on her. You should not. It's
She's the
very
mother.
clear. It is hold on. It is very clear that this arrangement was for you to help not only her, but to help your son as well. And then if it's true what she also said, that she hasn't been able to communicate with her husband, he doesn't even know that you did this. I'm sorry, your son, her fiance, he doesn't even know that you did this. You think he's going to be impressed to know that his mother did that to his fiance?
He'll understand. He'll understand.
No, that's not funny. This
understand.
is not a joking matter. This is serious. Things like this is what makes it hard for families. Child support is hard enough on anybody. But to file it simply because you don't like the other person, that's just mean.
Well, also she has money. She's not paying. She doesn't give anything. She running around
What
talking
was
about
the agreement
doing
with
the
that?
job.
What is it? Wait 1 second. Wait 1 second. Miss Smith, what was the agreement, if any, for financial support of these children while your husband was on deployment and you were traveling for work?
My fiance continues to pay some of the bills, like her phone bill, and I think he pays the internet and gives her money when he's there. But
Always done that.
I also drop off groceries for the days when she does watch them. But I want to let the court know, if she wants to completely destroy her relationship with her son and with my
You can't
children,
speak. What happens with me and my
with my
son?
children, I will pick them up and they will not be going back to her house. And this is why I
Threat.
can't.
Well, I
That
don't
was a
want you to
threat.
do
Object to a
that.
threat. Can I object to a threat?
Well, she didn't actually threaten you with
She said
anything.
she gonna take the kids and not let me see 'em
And that's
anymore.
not a legal objection.
Oh, well,
and
it's a
I mean,
threat.
I would never recommend anybody to stop children from seeing the other parts of their family.
Right.
However,
Amen. Right.
you're going to have to play fair. You're going to have to play fair. If there was, according to this email, there's nothing in here that said any exchange of financial anything for the children from her to you.
And that's why I filed for child support.
Why
Right,
won't
but
you just
the-
give me a chance? Like, I'm a good person.
Yo, that is
Your
a good
son
question.
loves me.
Miss Smith, let me ask the question. But I'm going to piggyback off what she said. Why? Just give her a chance. It sounds like she really loves your son, and it sounds like her son really loves her too. So Y'all should be working together as a family at this point.
That's what I've been trying to do.
Especially
Judge.
with him not being here. This is a really good opportunity for you, the two of you, to get to know each other.
But she's never here. She's traveling with that little new job.
Call her and you all sit down and have a conversation. Get to know each other. This is not the place to do it. This is where bitterness, bitter feelings, all of those things come into place. This is not the court. This is not the court. This is not the place to be doing these types of things. All right? I'm going to deny your request and I'm going to dismiss this case because you do not have a reason to ask for child support. It's very clear from this email that you knew what the situation was and you agreed to help them. And you're getting financial support from it. It's just not what you're looking for, but that was the agreement to continue paying the bills and everything like that.
I won't be dropping them off on Monday. So
You ain't gonna have that already there. You probably not coming.
No, hold on. Yes, you are. Because y'all are gonna do what? Y'all gonna go have a conversation.
Did you hear her? We're gonna have a conversation.
Yes, y'all are gonna have a conversation.
You're gonna have to play
and y'all are
nice,
gonna
not
work
just in
this
front
out.
of the judge.
And you are too. Is there anything further?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, is there anything further?
no, Your Honor. Can we like order counseling? Is that an option?
Girl, please.
Well, I can't necessarily order counseling because
Because I can't talk to her. Look how she reacts.
Here's the
Girl,
deal. Here's the
please.
deal. I cannot order that. That is not what we do in child support court, but I would highly recommend and encourage it. And it can be done. And I have faith in the both of you. If there's nothing further, you all are dismissed.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome. You may be seated. Okay. Is it Miss or Mrs.?
Miss.
Miss Mercy, you brought this case before the court. What's going on?
Yes, so my baby daddy is just not doing his part, taking care of our twins. It's been 2 years and it's just getting really hard doing it by myself and trying to maintain my career and everything as well.
You said twins. Are these boys, girls?
A boy and a girl, Rolls and Royce.
Okay, like the car?
Yeah,
Okay. What's the boy's name?
he's Rolls.
Rose. Okay. Just make sure I get it. And Royce is the girl. Okay. Royce is actually a cute name for a girl.
I like it.
Never
yeah.
thought about that.
When I looked at her, she just looked like a Royce to me.
Okay. All right. All right. So he's not contributing. He's not involved. Tell me the backstory. Like, how did the two of you get together?
Yeah, so I was actually at an after party for a concert, and he was a performing artist, and a couple drinks, and I became more social and decided to go express my flirtations on him, and then one thing led to the next.
Okay, keep going.
Got
Lead
two
with that.
beautiful kids. He's a rapper, a local rapper though, so he's still building his career. He also does like some hustling on the side as well, so
Okay.
I want a piece of that as well because he makes a good living doing that.
All right. When you say hustling, like that could be anything. Does he cut hair?
Well, I Googled a few things of like kind of what he does. So he goes to the grocery store and purchases like a lot of the same type of items. Typically like there's a lot of baking soda involved.
Okay.
And
So he's a baker.
I would say so, yeah, he bakes.
Okay.
He's pretty popular around the community too.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So he's active in the community. All right. All right.
Yeah.
Is this
His
a
pastries
nonprofit?
are like off the shelf. He's always selling out of his pastries. So
Oh, okay. All right. Continue.
yeah, so he's disrespectful first of all because I saw him a couple weeks ago with another chick up the block and he's not even taking care of his kids, but he has time to wine and dine her and all of this. And all I'm asking is that he just does his part for Rolls and Royce.
All right. Does he have any other children outside of Rose and Royce?
He does.
Okay. How many other
I
children?
found out about them after the fact, but he does.
Okay. And how old are Rose and Royce? I don't think I asked
They're
you that.
2 years old.
2. All right. And these other children, are they older, younger?
Both. He's got 2 older and 1 younger.
2 older, 1 younger. So a total of 3 outside of Rose and Royce.
Correct.
Okay. When was the last time you seen him?
Oh, I saw him a couple weeks ago when he was with old girl.
Okay. Did you have him served at that time? Because I do see a return here where he was served.
He was served a week prior to that.
Okay, all right. Did you all discuss anything about whether or not he was coming to court? I mean, not that you had to, but
I mean,
did
when
you?
I saw them, I tried to approach them, but it didn't, we didn't really get to discuss much about the court case.
When you approached them, what did they look like?
I mean, it wasn't anything bad. I just saw them out, so I walked up to them. I saw the girl sitting there, and she had a cute little bag, so I commented on her bag. And then she took it as a petty remark. So we got
Were
into
you
it.
being petty?
The bag was cute. It was a Telfar bag. I
What
thought
did
it
you
was
say?
cute. I was like, oh, this little bag is cute.
Oh, you put little in there.
It was the little, they have 3 different sizes, so it was actually the little bag.
Oh, okay. Because adding little in front of something could come off as petty.
But if she had the medium bag, I would have probably said, oh, this medium bag is cute.
Okay. Continue with the story.
So yeah, she didn't like what I had to say, so we got into a heated argument. So needless to say, I didn't even really get to have a conversation with my baby daddy, so I'm not sure why he's not here, but I do know that he got the papers.
Okay. All right. So did you want me to look at that?
Yes.
What you did on the Google search?
Yes, please. I've already got it opened up to the page.
Thank you. Okay. It's a lot in here. And I appreciate you being prepared and you have it all tabbed and everything for me. Oh, okay. It's quite a bit in here. So baking, we'll just say baking. How much do you think he makes on a monthly basis?
I would love to find out because I keep hearing different answers, and according to him, he's always broke. According to him, he doesn't break even. He's always owing money, and but I know that to be a lie because he's wine and dining this woman. So I would maybe suspect upwards.
In what amounts? Because all you provided me were things that you pulled off of Google. It's not necessarily anything scholarly, not anything that is grounded in fact or even law. It's just things you pulled off Google, and I see there are some pictures from an Instagram page.
So I would assume about $20K weekly is what he brings in.
All right.
Just based on, all of the stunting on the gram.
Okay. So he's one of those. He's on social media. Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, here's the thing. You said he makes about how much from his regular job?
$60K.
$60K. All right. So here's the thing. Yes, in some circumstances, you can order that people pay child support based on what you believe is what they're making. However, the issue here is that you're basing it on an assumption. Mm-hmm. And I can't make someone pay child support based on an assumption.
Even if his caption says, how much money he's got?
Well, and here's the thing about these captions, and that's why I said, is he one of those? Because people stunt and put certain things on social media. That doesn't necessarily mean that's what it is. Like he said here, just made 5 bands. What is that? Is that a random one-time thing? Is that something that he's doing weekly? You really can't tell just by looking at these posts. It just says it for that one caption. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. If you had something to show me that was more concrete on a consistent basis, maybe.
Even though they're date stamped? Because it's every 3 or 4 days he's making posts like that.
I see what you're saying. However, it's not very concrete to just say that that's what he's doing all the time. It's clear that he has a lot going on.
Except taking care of these kids.
Well, I didn't say that. Those are your words. It's clear he has a lot going on, but that one caption is the only one that I'm seeing that says any mention of an actual dollar amount.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So, I mean, he was served to be here today, so he knows he was supposed to be here, so we can go ahead and place him on child support to ensure that you do start receiving some child support for the children.
Okay.
But the additional amount, we can't do that unless you come back and say, you know, he's making this much more, and you actually get something a little bit more concrete.
Okay.
Okay, does that make sense? Health insurance, who carries the children on health insurance?
I do.
Okay, how much is your health insurance?
150.
Is that for both children or just,
For both.
are you included in that?
No.
Okay, $150, all right. And you said he has 5 children total.
Correct.
All right, so we're gonna base that off of 15%. Do you know if he has access to private health insurance?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
Maybe.
Well, if he does, the reason I ask, because if he does, then he can decide after he gets this paperwork today that he wants to come back to court and show the court proof of
he
his
ain't
actual
doing all
income,
that. Yeah.
proof of health insurance, and try to get it cheaper.
Yeah, he's not doing all that.
He might.
He didn't even bother to show up today.
Well, he didn't. I mean, obviously, I'm looking at an empty chair, but you'll be surprised. Some people do come back, especially when you start speaking about money. Okay? So, giving him credit for the other 3 children that he has, his child support would be based on 15% of his income. You understand what I mean by that?
Yes.
Okay. So, do you have any questions about that? Is that a no?
Just maybe what the dollar amount is.
Okay. Oh, I was getting to that.
Oh, okay.
I was getting to that. Okay. So, based on 15% of his gross income, based on $60,000 a year, is $5,000. His net is $4,120.17. 15% of that would be $618 plus the $150 reimbursement. Brings it to $768 per month. And that's for both kids.
Okay.
Why did you look like that? You look like you
that
went
was
down.
for each kid.
No, it's
okay.
based on his income. Each kid would well exceed
I'm gonna
what
find
it
out
is.
the rest of his income because I know.
Well, I mean, if you find it out and you bring something in here, it's credible, it's something that I can actually quantify. Like if you bring in receipts of, when I say receipts, I'm talking about the things that you brought in already on Instagram, and it's showing something consistent, like I'm making $5,000 every 2 weeks. Well, we can quantify that, right?
Okay.
That's $10,000 a month. So you multiply that over a course of a year. You see what I'm saying? Something a little bit more concrete. So do you have any questions about anything?
No.
Okay. All right. If there's nothing further, then you're dismissed.
Thank you.
Okay. Is it Miss or Mrs. Campos?
Mrs.
Miss. Okay. You brought this case before the court. What's going on?
Well, I'm bringing my son to court to see if I can get some assistance for his son, my grandson, Julian. He's 6 years old. Juan and Julian's mom were together up until about 3 years ago.
Okay.
Had a good life, beautiful home. They were set. Then one day he comes to me. I've never talked to her since she left him. She abandoned him. She abandoned the whole family, including the grandson. So he comes and he says, look, she's gone and whatever. Okay, I just need some help with Julian because she left him too. Well, of course I'm gonna say yes, you know. At that time, it was just me and my husband. So Julian had his grandpa, he had me, and everything was fine. Well, last year, grandpa passed away.
I'm sorry about that.
Thank you. And things have gotten tougher because of that. So to the point where I came out of retirement, I'm Ubering when Julian's at school, and his life hasn't changed at all. He's still literally in the house that he was in when they were a family. And he doesn't visit, like, Julian's like detached from him because it's been 3 years that he'll come around.
I do see
you
him.
know,
I do see him.
and
I'll get to you shortly.
and
Okay.
he
Sorry,
comes
Your Honor.
around, but I don't get any financial support. I don't see that his life has changed at all. And we had to move out of the house that me and my husband shared. And unfortunately, in this big city, the best place I could find is literally a 1-bedroom. So thank goodness Julian's small right now. He can sleep on the sofa without too much discomfort. I have the bedroom. And so when he comes over and visits, of course he can't stay because there's no place for him to stay. These are his words. He can't stay. And Julian he's just like some man that comes over because he comes over so rarely. What really ticked me off was a little bit back ago, he went and bought Julian some clothes. He also bought himself some clothes. But what my grandson had told me was that if he could have some shoes like Juan. And I said, what do you mean? He got you some new shoes? No, he said, we went to the mall, we got his clothes, his shoes, and then he stopped at Walmart on the way home and got Julian stuff. I guess because it's cheaper. I get it. I mean, for Julian, he's getting Walmart from me, he's getting Walmart from him.
But Julian was with him.
He was literally with him, and he took him, and I thought they were gonna, maybe things had changed with him, whatever.
If I could please explain, Your Honor.
You can
Okay.
after your mother is done.
Okay. Sorry, Mom.
And then since my husband's passing, I need to get medical insurance for him. Anytime, even to take him to the free clinic is not really free. I've still got to pay whatever the prescriptions are. And then the finances, so I went and tried to get him some medical coverage, food stamps. Well, they tell me no, because with the Medicaid, they needed his information. They said that he's under child support. The mother has been paying the state child support all these years.
Okay, wait. So she's been paying child support to him?
Apparently so. I haven't seen one dime.
Okay. All right. And so Julian is under Medicaid.
I couldn't get him under Medicaid
Oh,
because
you couldn't get him
I
under-
couldn't. That's how I found out about the child support. When I asked him about it on the visit that he made to buy the clothes, he said that no, he doesn't get in it. He doesn't know where it's going to this and that. But I know Juan. There's that money. He knows what I'm talking about. He knows he's getting it, but I'm not getting it.
Okay. So you just want one to pay child support and you have the opportunity to get health insurance.
Well, according to them, yeah, health insurance, because I'm paying out of pocket these last 3 years, and I understood that they wouldn't even qualify him for Medicaid because, according to them, he's got medical coverage. But I don't know where that medical coverage is. I've
Under
been paying it.
mom.
The mom or him or somebody's got him covered, but I don't have the information that I need to go take him to the doctor.
I understand. I follow you. Well, is there anything else you want me to know? Because there is some information I need and you just don't have it, and hopefully Mr. Campos has it. Is there anything else you want me to know, or can I move over to him?
Yeah, I just want to know. I mean, like I tell you, he plays dumb, but I just can't believe that he's let me come out of pocket. When Grandpa was around, it was easier. We could pay these things, but now it's serious that I can't even get him for a common cold without having to Uber almost 20. I mean, Uber doesn't pay anything, and my pension doesn't take care of it.
Okay, so let's move over to Mr. Campos. I'm not going to call you by your first name.
Okay.
Mr. Campos. Okay, so is it indeed a fact that you have been receiving child support from the mother of your son?
Yes, I have.
¿Ves? Que
Okay.
te dije.
And you didn't tell your mom?
No, I didn't feel the need to.
Okay, wait a minute. Is it true that your son, your 6-year-old, has been living with your mom for 3 years?
Off and on, not totally all 3 years, off and on. I do.
What do you mean by off and on? Like on the weekend when you pick him up, or when you pick him up and go with
I'm a promoter for a club, so I do need help, and I thought that was the agreement to go ahead and help me when I'm out of town, and I'm not, as she says, I do have the house, but I'm really there, and I do need help. He can't stay by himself in a house that big at 6 years old. I don't know. I know I couldn't, but.
Okay. Well, you'd agree with me that help means that you need to give her something, right?
And I do pay the health care, the $150. I do pay that.
Oh, wait a minute. So that's the missing link here. So you pay health insurance for your son already?
Yes, I pay the $150.
Why didn't you tell your mother that? Why haven't you given her a health insurance card? Why haven't you given her anything? That's not fair.
It's not, but I paid for it. I thought that was all I needed to do from my side. I didn't realize I needed to tell my mom everything.
What do you? It's not serving Julian.
Wait a minute, Mr. Compost. Who takes him to the doctor?
Well, I haven't recently.
Okay,
when she
so
helps
it's
me out.
fair to say that your mom probably does it, right?
Yes.
So wouldn't it logically follow that she needs an insurance card or the information?
Yes, and it's just that
So you're letting your mom take your son to the doctor, and they have to call you or something to verify his insurance? That just does not make any sense.
Your Honor, excuse me, they don't call him to verify. I didn't know this. Everything has come out of my pension or my Uber money, tips or whatever. I had no idea until I tried to file for these services that they said that Julian was getting child support. And I have told him, hey, I've got my son's phone number. I have told him, hey, this kid doesn't feel well, this is going on, that's going on. Even for physical, for him to play the T-ball. And
so you're paying
out
right now. She's literally paying out of pocket, but your son is covered under health insurance.
Yes.
So your mom is not only taking care of your son's medical needs, she's taking care of his daily needs. Mm-hmm. And you don't want to help her?
I do want to help her, and I thought she had all the help she needed. When Papa passed away, he left quite a bit of money for her, and I thought, it would help.
You just said keywords. He left quite a bit of money for her.
Yes.
Not for your son.
Yes.
Not for you.
Yes, and she keeps talking about going to Uber and such, but that's a pretty nice ring on her finger she has there. Don't know how many tips are needed.
Your dad got me years ago. This is not something I bought in the last 3 years.
Why does that matter?
Because she says she does Uber and such. If it's really that low, wouldn't she?
Oh my God, Mr. Compose. No.
Okay,
You
sorry,
obviously came here to waste my time. What kind of club promoter are you?
Well, I'm sure you've seen me around, probably.
No, I haven't. You don't look familiar at all, but you're looking real unfamiliar right now. I can't even tell this is your mother right now.
This is my mother. I love her dearly.
Well, I can't tell. You're not paying your mother. You're not helping your mother. She helped you. But I don't believe that she intended to help you for life. I don't believe she intended to raise your son. She raised you.
Yes.
She's a grandmother, for crying out loud.
Yes.
Your Honor, when my husband passed away, and since he lives alone in this big house, I told him we were going to have to move to a one-bedroom apartment, or we could come stay with him. I'd have my private room, Julian have his private room, and he would have his private room.
So what's the deal with that? You're okay with your mother in this one-bedroom. Why can't she stay in the big house?
Well,
inconvenience, he said. It would be very inconvenient.
How big is this house? How many bedrooms we're talking?
Maybe 800 square feet most, maybe 2-bedroom, half closet. It's not as big as she's saying. It's not as big as she's saying. It's
my apartment is 800 square feet.
You're describing a room in the house that's 800 square feet?
I may have my math wrong a little bit. It's not that big as she's saying. It's really not.
How big is this house? How many bedrooms?
It's in the nice houses in Plano. So you can imagine. It's a nice house.
Okay.
Because him and Julian's mom both do this promoting thing.
Oh,
and
okay.
they can do it from everywhere. So they're
I no longer see her.
She left.
I no longer see her.
But she was making good money like he makes. I don't know to the penny what he makes, but they were living very, very comfortably. And but he started this since Julian was born, the free babysitting. That a grandmother that loves her kids shouldn't have to be paid and this and that. I never asked him for a dime. I didn't need to. But since becoming a widow, it's become critical.
Okay. All right, Mr. Compost, how much money do you make a year?
48,000.
Really?
Yes.
You make $48,000 a year and you live in this big house in Plano?
Well, then that's where all the money.
Club promoting?
That's where all the money goes to the house to make sure it's, you know, I have so many members
Plus
in
the
the house.
child support. They didn't give me the amount because I'm not on the case, right? But who knows how much she's paying?
How much do you receive in child support? Because if she makes that kind of money,
Just $1 grand, and that's in that
Just
40.
a grand?
You know how much that would have
everybody
helped?
does not receive just a grand.
Yeah.
Everybody don't receive that.
Well, and that's why I paid for the 150.
You came here to waste my time. What is it? What is the amount? So you pay yourself $48,000. You pay yourself that, right?
No, it's from you know, from jobs that I try and.
How much is your rent, Mr. Compost, or do you pay a mortgage?
No, rent a month is about a grand 500.
Okay, so $1,500 in rent. What's your other expenses look
Your
like?
Honor, he doesn't rent. They did a big, huge housewarming party. That is his home. Him and her bought that home. It's not a rent.
So you really are wasting my time.
I am renting it. I'm not sure where she's getting that from.
They had a huge, and you know, as families talk, and we're gonna try to pay off the house early, and we're gonna try to even upgrade, but they didn't stay together.
So wait a minute, you closed on this house.
Oh yeah.
I may
Okay,
have
so you
fogged
own
up the
it.
details a little bit as you know, it was a heartbreaking, you know, I don't
So
want to
it's
go
a deed
into
in
it as
that
much
folder
as
over there. You have a deed.
a deed.
Yeah.
Yes, I do, but it's
Okay,
just
so you own the Miss Compost. You own the home.
It's-
Do not come in here and waste my time.
the details have just been foggy since.
You've been getting over on your mother. That's not gonna work on me. Okay. I was not born yesterday.
Okay.
All right. So let me tell you what we're going to do. We are going to have the child support that you received, that $1,000. We're going to send it over to your mom.
Your Honor, if there's any way we can.
Yeah, hold on. I'm not finished. And I know you want to hear this.
Okay.
That's just mom's portion. You're going to pay too. So mom is going to be getting what? About, let's see, you said 40. Now I'm going to take your word for it. I'm going to take your word for it at that $48,000. All right?
Okay.
And you said $150 in health insurance?
Yes.
All right, so your gross comes out to $3,900. That brings your net to $3,280.28. And how many children do you have?
Just the one.
Just how many?
Just the one.
Just the one child?
Yes, just Julian.
All right. All right, so 20% of that brings your child support to $656. And that's giving you credit for the health insurance. So you have to continue paying that health insurance of $150. Child support to grandma is going to be $656, as well as the reallocation of the $1,000 that you received from mom going to grandmother. So grandmother's amount in child support monthly is $1,656, which $656 belongs to you. You understand that?
Yes.
Okay. Grandma, did you understand what I said?
I did understand. He's the only one thinking that I'm a fool. Now I understand why he didn't tell me about that medical coverage, because he would have known that I knew enough. I retired from the state. He knew that I would have known enough. Well, if you've got insurance, the card's probably got the mom's name under, whoever it comes under for Julian. And I would have put 2 and 2 together and figured there's some child support following that too. But I just didn't think that he would sink that low. But I again didn't think he'd be taking Julian to Walmart after he goes mall shopping either.
Yeah, and what's that about, real quick?
Well,
real quick.
he's 6 years old. If I get him some 11s, he's gonna mess him up in a day or so.
Okay,
you
I
know?
said real quick. That was too long. That doesn't even make sense what you just said.
Okay.
You can wear 11s, but your son can't. Shame on you. Do better, Mr. Compost.
Yes,
You know,
Your
I
Honor.
just
better.
noticed, I asked him for a confirmation necklace because Julian is fixing to make his first Holy Communion. And he's got that big, huge thing. I bet you it's not even fake, that necklace. And he said, oh, I just can't. I can't do it. I can't afford it. I can't, you know. And I knew that his mortgage was not $500 because I thought, well, then I should move to Plano to the big houses because apparently they're giving them away over there. But with that money that you're saying that we're eligible for, we wouldn't have had to sell the home that me and your dad lived our whole lives in, that we raised you in. Had you just done that, I could still be in that home that I cherished so much. And you knew that I loved that home.
Well, if you manage your money right, then maybe you still would have the
Mr.
home.
Compost, shame on you.
I'm sorry.
Shame on you.
I'm sorry, Your Honor. And I need this for my promoting this.
And
this
I
for her
need
to
you
mention.
to do better. How about that?
Yes, Your
That's
Honor.
what I need you to do.
Yes,
I need
Your
you to
Honor.
do right by your mother. I'm not here to counsel you or anything like that, but to hear that she had to sell the family home, but that's kind of heartbreaking. That is. You can only imagine the memories that are gone, right?
Yes, Your Honor.
So I need you to do better. And until then, I need you to keep working so your mom can get this $656, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Is there anything further?
No, ma'am.
All right. Is there anything further,
No, ma'am.
Mrs. Compost? Okay. If there's nothing further, you all are dismissed. Okay, Miss Allen, you're back. It looks
Yes.
like you brought someone with you. What's going on?
King. So he's my nephew's father,
Okay.
and I need help. You know, mom's paying child support. I feel it's only fair that dad pays child support for, you know, his child.
Okay. And you said for your nephew, if I remember correctly, there were 2 children, right?
Yes, he's just the father of the 4-year-old.
All right.
Yes.
All right. But you said he was around. I remember
he does,
you saying
and
that.
he even dropped off some school supplies. You know, he brought him a backpack, and he got him, you know, the scissors and Crayolas and stuff. But I mean, he didn't help with school clothes.
All right. Right. Have you ever asked him to help with school clothes or do anything more?
I mean, he knows school starts. You know,
So that's a no.
that's a no.
Okay. How do you know he knows that school started?
I mean, because the summer just ended and the school starts, and he knows his baby's going to go to, you know, kinder. He knows that the baby's starting pre-K. So, you know, he brought school supplies. Why wouldn't he think to bring school clothes?
Well, that's true. That's true. You all have a decent relationship, though.
We do. And he's, you know, he's sometimey. He comes, you know, when he wants. I mean,
That was funny.
Just listening to her, that's it.
Okay. All right. I'll get to you in just a second, okay?
Yes,
All
ma'am.
right. Continue.
basically that's it, you know. My sister's not doing her part. He does some timey part, and, you know, it's just getting old.
Okay.
My nephew deserves more.
So at this point, you are wanting to place him on child support?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. I don't know if, have you talked to him before today? Because I don't know if he knew this, because he has this look on his face and shaking his head. You haven't discussed this with him?
We haven't.
Yeah,
We haven't.
Where is this
I
coming
mean,
from?
not that you legally have to, you don't,
Well, okay,
but
he knows that mom is paying child support. He knows that my sister's paying me child support for her 2 kids. I think it's only fair he pay child support for 1 kid. He had to have known this was coming. You know, he knew that I had put my sister on child support.
okay.
I knew that.
I think you did.
You think
Yeah.
I did?
I think you did.
Okay.
All right.
Uh-huh.
All right. So is there anything else you want me to know before I move over to him? Because it seems like he has a lot to say.
Let's hear what he's got to say.
Okay. Sir,
Yes,
is your
ma'am.
last name King or your first name King?
First name's King.
First name is King. What's your last name?
Jackson.
Okay, Mr. Jackson, what's going on here?
You guys tell me. I don't know what's going on here.
You were unaware of the reason that you were coming to court today?
I'm just here.
Okay, you got served with paperwork. Did you read it?
No.
So you just showed up without you just came to court not knowing what was going on?
Well, I'm not gonna miss court. So.
Well, I can appreciate that. Thank you. You're about the first person that has come in here and recognize that you should come to court when you are ordered to come to court. But you didn't read the paperwork, so you're not aware of anything.
I'm in the blind about all this, and nothing was discussed or anything like that. Just prior to, sent you a text message here. I think I still got it.
You sent her a text message?
Yeah, we communicate. We communicate back and forth.
Okay.
So for her to say that I'm inconsistent, I don't know where she's getting that from.
Well, how would you describe, you going and seeing your son and everything like that?
Oh, I'm an amazing father, but of course, when you get in court, it's something totally different. So. Yeah.
What do you mean by amazing father? Like, explain that to me.
How often do you come and pick up your son?
Excuse me, Miss Allen?
I'm sorry. My apologies.
And I know you know better. You've been here before.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Don't be sorry.
Thank you, Judge.
Just don't do it.
Thank you, Judge.
All right. Now,
Thank you, Your
Mr.
Honor.
Jackson.
Yes.
You're welcome. Continue.
Being an amazing father, I go pick up my kids whenever I have the opportunity to. I do work at a bank here as a financial advisor.
All right.
So my schedule is not, it doesn't permit me to go pick them up like I would like to. But through our text message and everything like that, I'm able to communicate with her and go pick them up. As she said before, dropping them off, picking them up, taking them out to eat, buying them school supplies.
Wait a minute, just so I'm clear. So she has custody of both of her sister's kids. Mm-hmm. Are you taking both of the kids? Or you?
No, just mine.
You just taking your son?
Yes.
Okay, because you said kids, so I didn't know if this was this child or you had outside children.
No, well, just this one.
Okay, okay, I got you, I follow you.
Yeah.
And
so,
that matters because if you're going to be put on child support, you will get credit for any other children that you have. You said you work at a bank. How much money do you make?
Say about $60K a year.
Okay, all right. So you pick up your son, you take him places, you do things with him?
Yes.
Do you buy him clothes and everything like that for your home?
Of course.
Okay. As far as Aunt's home though, Miss Allen's home, you don't?
I can't speak for our household.
Okay.
I can only speak for my household and when I have them. So,
all right.
Other than that, yeah.
Okay. So how do you feel about knowing that you're here today to be placed on child support at her request?
I think it's a waste of time, honestly. I think we could have settled out of court for all this, but hey, you got to go through the process. So let's go through it.
Okay. Have you been giving her any financial assistance for your son up until now?
Yes.
All right. How have you been giving her financial assistance?
Whenever she asks.
Okay. How frequent do you ask him?
I don't like to ask frequently because I feel like he knows his child has needs, wants even, and I don't have to pick up the phone and say, hey, your child's gonna eat today. Hey, look, I even brought my electricity bill. Like water, electricity, gas, $435 for electricity. I mean,
what does your bill have to do with my child?
Your child lives in my home and uses this electricity, watching TV or the enjoyment of the air conditioner,
Uh-huh.
I mean, it's just your child, you should pay.
Okay.
Financially.
Once again, you didn't answer the question. What do your bills have to do with my child?
You don't, if you're not gonna sit your child, if you're not gonna take care of your child and have your child with you, well then you can pay financially.
Okay.
Right?
I choose to have my child with me, but hey, you know how you guys do.
Oh.
What does that mean? You guys do. What does that mean?
I'm not gonna get into that.
Oh, okay. But I asked you to. So what does that mean?
Yes, Your Honor. As I said before, I think I'm an amazing dad. Her and her sister. How can I say it without being rude? They have certain ways about them.
Mm-hmm. I could kind of tell that from the last time that they were here. Mm-hmm.
They have certain ways about them. A little money hungry, if you want to say that. I'm gonna say that and not use the other term. But hey, teach his own. Teach his own.
Okay, and she said some things about the electricity bill and everything like that.
Correct.
Do you think that child support should be
No, child support
determined
is
or
for the
spent
child.
on those expenses?
No, child support is for the child. Me paying your bills, you have another child there, you probably have other dudes there, that's not my responsibility. So
Do you think she was asking you to pay those bills?
Yeah,
All right.
yeah, she need help.
Miss Allen, were you asking him to pay those bills, or what
No,
exactly
Judge, I
was?
want him to just get the knowledge that, you know, your child lives in a household. You are not contributing to that household, so therefore you contribute financially to your child, so that your child is taken care of.
Okay.
You know, so that when school comes, there's school clothes and there, you know, there's backpacks and new shoes and you know.
Okay.
Right.
Well, I mean, I think I understand where both of you are coming from. You know, it's just ironic that, not that you have to have an agreement outside of court, right? That's not a requirement or anything like that. But considering that you all seem to have somewhat of a decent relationship, I just would think this would be a conversation that you all had first to try to see what you can work out. But, I mean, nonetheless, we are here today. Do you have access to health insurance?
I do.
All right. Do you know how much it'll cost you to put your son on health insurance?
I don't have an exact number, but I'm pretty sure anywhere between $300, $400
Okay.
a month.
All right. Is it possible that it could be cheaper than $300?
Once again, I'm not sure. I have to go through and find out there, but pretty standard there. I believe it's about $300, $400. I think it might be cheaper, but I'm not exactly sure.
Okay. All right. So, Mr. Jackson, this is what we are going to do. We are going to place you on child support today. I mean, at the end of the day, the law is the law. You do have a responsibility to financially support your child, any children that you may have. Your child is living with his aunt. She should receive some sort of financial support in caring for your son, just like the mother does. All right? You understand what I'm saying? So it's not to punish you or anything like that, but she is entitled to receive some sort of support for taking care of your child. All right? Now, child support is, go ahead.
So all the cash apps and everything that I have here and all the text messages and everything, that means nothing, correct?
No, you haven't told me that. You haven't told me. I mean, I asked, you know, how much have you been giving her?
Like I said, whenever she asks, she
But
asks,
what does that mean? Like, numerically, how does that look?
what, an extra $250 to $500?
A month?
Yeah, say that.
Okay, and the last time you were here, I believe you said your nephew had been with you, let me see, I have my notes here, 9 months at the time.
250, there's no way. 250 to 500, there's no way.
Okay.
He'll send like 20 bucks here, 30 bucks here, 40 bucks. I've never received a payment more than $50, ever.
Never?
So is it possible
Sure?
that, excuse me.
No.
Are you sure?
Excuse
I'm
me.
sure.
I let you
Okay.
guys talk the first time. Now I'm talking. So is it possible that the $250 to $500 is a total based on sending smaller amounts? Is that possible?
Sure.
Because she's saying she hasn't received that in a month.
And like I said, my electricity bill was $430
Once
a
again,
month.
that's not my responsibility.
It's not, but your child lives in my home.
Okay, you keep talking about your bills. You need to
Okay,
focus
well,
on my
let me
child,
just clear
okay?
this up. The bills don't matter, okay? I mean, I get what you're saying. I
Yes.
understand. The child lives there. There
It was
are
just,
things that
you
you
know.
have to pay for. I get it.
I was just saying,
His child
it's-
support is not going to be paid based on your electricity
Absolutely.
bill, your gas bill, any of those
But he
bills
wants
that you
to
brought
sit
today.
here and say $250 to $500. That's probably been in a year. And what I was just trying
Come
to
on
say
now.
is, come on, I mean, come on. $500
Come
in
on
a
now.
year, that's
Come
not
on now.
much.
Well, she did ask for back child
Come on.
support too, so that's the reason that I asked what it was that you had paid her.
You can take $500 off. Fine.
$500 off the back pay?
Yeah. I'll
Okay,
give him
now
that.
you do understand that back pay starts
him
from the day that you filed, right? She hasn't filed, you know, it's been fairly recent since she filed. So taking $500 off, that'll probably put you around $2,000 in back pay, and you can pay that back at $100 a month, okay? So this is what we're gonna do. What I'll do is give you credit. I can give you $200 credit for health insurance. Now, if your health insurance ends up being more than that, I can't just say, okay, I'll give you credit for $300 or even more than that without seeing what the actual health insurance premium is going to look like for your son only. So I give you credit for $200, okay?
Okay.
All right, so if I do that with your gross, that brings your gross to $4,800, which means your net is $3,979.47. And you said you have one child, correct?
Have one, expecting one.
Okay, so you have one child that's already here.
Yes.
Okay, all right. So that is $3,979.47. It's 20%, $795.89. We'll round it up to $796, plus $100 a month for the back pay that you owe. That makes your monthly child support obligation $896 a month. All right.
Thank you, Your
That's
Honor.
ridiculous.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Do you all? I mean,
And
it's
my
based on
nephew's
a
gonna
number.
thank you too. My
It's-
nephew thanks you too.
Okay,
And
that's
he'll thank
great.
you too.
No, your bills, thank you. That's what it is.
Okay, the two of you
Whatever.
hush, thanks. All right, so as I stated, it's not a punishment or anything like that. It is strictly based on what your income is. Now, if you guys can work together and you decide you want to do something different, you get an agreement or something like that, I would happily entertain that. But until then, this is where we're at today. All right, do you have any questions, Mr. Jackson?
I bet he don't. my apologies.
Money hungry, like I said. No, I'm good. I got other priorities right now, so
Oh, okay. Well, thank you for showing up for court, at
most
least.
definitely.
Other
Thank you.
priorities than his son.
Miss
Other
Allen,
priorities
your
other than
only
his son.
That's not your
priority,
business.
you have two
You want your bills
priorities.
paid,
The
right?
first priority is for you to make the request as you did, and the second one is to hush.
Yes, Your
All
Honor.
right?
You're
Anything
up.
further?
No, ma'am.
Okay, well, if there's nothing further, you all are dismissed.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Be sure to like this video by clicking the thumbs up button and subscribe to our channel.